Hello everyone, welcome back to Fight Tonight channel. Former opponent impressed by Gervonta Davis' improvements. One of Gervonta Davis' past opponents cannot help admire his evolution into an intimidating figure on the brink of establishing himself among the very best. Davis, 29, most recently stopped Frank Martin in the latest defense of his WBA lightweight title, enhancing his reputation as one of the world's highest-profile fighters and perhaps also its finest at 135 pounds. It was in 2017 when he traveled to London to stop the previously undefeated Liam Walsh. And the retired Walsh, the one of Britain's leading fighters, has continued to monitor his progress and witnessed to him significant chance. Victories over Ryan Garcia, Martin and others have since demonstrated that Walsh was even more of an underdog than he was recognized as being in 2017, and Walsh, who remains passionate about his former occupation to the point of consistently watching fighters and fights, said, "The word special is what my brother Ryan texted me straight away after the victory over Martin. He is very special. Ryan, I told you he is much better than just power. I didn't get a lot of time in there with him, so I can't talk like I am an expert. But when I was in there, it was different to anyone else I would be in with, and I have feeling he needs Shakur Stevenson, like they're talking, and you start talking about him being an elite fighter and a pound for pound. I admire the position he is in, coming from basically being in care as a young fighter in Baltimore. He is got himself in a position where he can look after himself of his life, so I'm a big fan. What he was being given credit for early was he is a massive power puncher, but his judging of distance and his timing is immense, and his accuracy, no one ever mentions his accuracy. Every time he lets that go for real, it lands under the chin. He does not hit the cheekbone, and it doesn't skim off the side of the head. He hits the chin, nails them. I had a feeling he was that good. I still think he needs the names. Toth. For me, his best win is still probably in 2017 Jose Pedraza. He went and took the title off the champion, a Puerto Rican in New York. He has got some big names: Ryan Garcia, Yuriorkis Gamboa, Pitbull Cross looks an ever better win. I would like to see him, Shakur Stevenson. I've always admired Stevenson, what a fighter. But the longer it's going, and the better Gervonta looks each fight, I'm starting to think, can he beat Shakur? He is definitely got the advantage in the game changer. I don't think Shakur could hurt Gervonta. As long as the fight's relatively close or in the balance, Gervonta can take him out at any point. I used to think Devin Haney would beat Gervonta. I used to think his style, he's cautious, taking no risks. Walsh said, but I'm starting to look at Gervonta, thinking maybe he can beat them all. Teofimo Lopez is a hard ask because he is naturally a big man. I think Shakur Stevenson beats every of them. He is the GOAT. He is a different mindset completely. Gervonta is elite as well. He just needs the names. Shakur has solved them names. He fought in 2022 Oscar Wilde's and made him look like he was an average fighter. The victory over Walsh represents the only time Gervonta Davis has fought outside of America, and in contrast to during the build-up to his fights with Garcia and Martin, he cut a low-key figure who was perhaps even shy that he had the attention-seeking Floyd Mayweather. Then his promoter alongside him while he prepared to fight Walsh should not be overlooked. But Walsh believes that Davis has transformed as a figure outside of the ring as well as inside it. He is improved a lot, Walsh said. He was a very good fighter when he fought me. He is got a lot more belief in himself now. I think there was still a slight doubt in him when I fought him. Jose Pedraza win, he looked invincible and like he didn't have a care in the world. when he fought me, he had the same, but I think there was still a little element of something missing. He failed the weight the next fight against Francisco Fonseca, and I don't know if he was whirling like he is now. Now he is like, I know I'm the best fighter in the world, and he carries himself like that. The experience he is picking up has helped him a lot because he's patient as well. He's losing rounds, but he hasn't been getting frustrated in any way. That's fine, I'm gonna catch you. He is picking it all up, learning to read his opponents. He knows what's coming. He is a lot better now, definitely. He did not try and bully me. He didn't come across me anyway. We did that head-to-head thing and he got asked how he thinks the fight's gonna go, and he said, I've watched a bit of Liam, and he fights like I've been watching. He will be gunning under 6 rounds. It turned out he was right. He weren't trying to intimidate me. Now he plays that card, doesn't he? At the end of the fight, he come over. We was in the ring and went, it's all business, and that was all he said. It's nothing personal. There were no animosity really. Even on the morning of the fight weigh-in, there were no looking at each other. He weren't trying to intimidate me in any way. I do see him do it now, and I quite like it. I watch it and think they're actually scared, and he is intimidating them. It's quite good to watch, Lime Walsh said. Gervonta Davis answers if Devin Haney can ever come back from Ryan Garcia beating. The lightweight and super lightweight divisions are some of the most exciting in the sport right now, particularly with the return of Gervonta Davis. Both have seen high-level matchups in the last year or so. First came Davis against Ryan Garcia last year in a 136-pound catchweight. It ended with Garcia on his knees and unable to beat the count after a subtle body shot from WBA king Gervonta Davis. Then in April this year, Garcia then got in the ring with WBC 140 pounds champion Devin Haney and knocked him down 3 times, much to the surprise of many who considered him to be the underdog. Garcia took the win on points but did not claim the title as he had failed to make weight and then tested positive for a banned substance. Haney has since requested the loss be overturned. Social media recently spoke to Gervonta Davis and asked if Haney could come back from the beating handed to him by former foe Garcia. Yeah, he young. When you young, you heal faster and things like that. He can come back. That was crazy, and a crazy thing how he went about the fight, like saying how he would do such and such against him. All that things he said about him, and it backfired against him. He was then asked about how his approach to fighting Garcia and getting under King Ryan's famous left hook differed to Haney's. That's experience. He thought he could sit there with somebody that's his best punch, and he sit there right with it. He did not move his feet once bit. Shakur Stevenson predicted to beat Gervonta Davis. The conversation started when one of the reporters asked Timothy Bradley whether he had any pieces of advice for Shakur Stevenson ahead of his fight against Artem Haratunyan. The former world champion replied in the negative. Shakur don't need me to give him any wisdom. Shakur that guy, man, and call it whatever you want to call it, he ain't going to be with top rank, whatever you want to say. You know, you had this, not he don't need me to say what he needs to do, said the Desert Storm. Thanks for watching guys, if you like this video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel.